Dusty Futon podcast is a product of the Dusty Futon LLC and Dusty Futon Productions. Go to dustyfuton.com for more information. Welcome back to another episode of The Producer's Corner. We try to get inside the heads of producers and artists to give you information on their methods and tricks, hoping to enlighten you to what it takes to make these tracks and beats. Soup the Messenger is one of those lyricists who just has it. He's his own producer in many ways, but like any good artist, he knows it's good to work with a team. He's just looking for that perfect team here in San Diego now. Take a seat on the Dusty Futon with Soup to hear how he does what he does. You tracking what I'm tracking? I'm tracking. What the hell? This thing died again on me. Okay.
We're good.
We're good.
Welcome back to the Dusty Futon. My name is Dirty Disciple. I'm here with Big John.
Sometimes.
And I'm not going to get sidetracked right now.
Okay.
And we are here with our guest on the show today, Soup the Messenger.
All right.
How you doing?
Hey, get that microphone as close to your mouth as possible.
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Big John found you off of Reverb Nation. And the first thing he said is, I got this guy. He's called Soup the Messenger. I was like, that's a sick name.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Soup the Messenger, man. So actually, I go by Soup. My last name is Campbell, like Campbell Soup. And so I go by Soup, of course. And, you know, putting these songs out, you know, it's like 80,000 Soups out there. I never realized that. But the first couple shows I had out here, you know, people came up to me and were like, hey, are you Soup the Messenger? And I was, well, not exactly. That first single was Don't Shoot the Messenger. And so it happened twice in a row. So, you know, the more I thought about it, the more I kept Soup the Messenger. I'm like, you know, it was just a little better than Soup. So it just had a ring to it, man, and it stuck, and it's deeming pretty lucrative. I like it.
Nice,
So,
yeah.
It's definitely sets you apart.
It does. It works really good.
well, that's the thing. A lot of people wouldn't know that. You know what I mean? The average person wouldn't know that. So that's why I kind of like intimate settings and more interviews. And it's almost like, even with the shows, it's almost like the less people there, the better it feels for me.
Yep, right on.
So that's another little bit about it.
So you're a hip-hop artist from San Diego?
I'm from Augusta, Georgia originally.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I saw that 707. Or sorry,
706.
Is that 70? That's a 706? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was a 770 and a 404 for a while up in
okay.
Atlanta area.
Yep.
Sorry, we're throwing zips or area
Area
codes around.
codes.
I see. I'm all sorts of wrong. I need to just let you do this.
Yeah, it's all good.
That's all right. It's all good.
Yeah, last week made 4 years for me in San Diego.
How you enjoying it?
Man, I'm loving it. This is a dream come true.
Were you doing music back in your hometown, or did you just start doing it over here?
I was. I mean, I've been in music since, you know, I can remember. It's just, as far as taking it serious and, you know, looking at kind of the behind the scenes and what really goes into making good quality music. It's not really as easy as a lot of people might think. So
That's correct. It is not easy.
No. No.
As we're teaching people.
Yeah.
So
Trying to highlight the fact that it does take some work to be music.
yeah, to be music, yes, absolutely.
That's a good way to
be music.
Good way to
exactly.
put it. So do you produce your own stuff?
Actually, well, my brother, he sings and he plays the keyboard. My dad, he sings and plays the keyboard. My uncle actually makes beats, but they're all on the East Coast now. So for now, it's more of a just kind of get with the right team and you know, build relationships, and it's about, you know, building the right rapport for me anyway, and you know, just having fun, just kind of exploring the city.
Who wrote the beats for your tracks you gave us?
There's actually a guy
From Ready, Set, Survive?
well, Ready, Set, Survive, that's actually the rock band that I've been
yeah, we had them
with.
we had them on the podcast. They were season 6, and one of
Did
the
you?
songs featured you. Yeah.
Fight.
That was,
yeah,
that was the first time I heard of you was through that episode. And, you know, I saw you as put in for this Reverb Nation campaign we did, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta talk to Soup.
Absolutely. Yeah, Dream Life is my man that I was thinking about from Virginia, man. Shout out to Dream Life Beats, man. But he's more or less the producer on those songs. I actually have my you know, a little private producer here. He's just traveling a lot. It's kind of hard keeping up with that guy. So he you know, I'm just trying to build and kind of venture out. have to be with this one person. Good sound, but I just need the camaraderie with the city,
So you want to find a team of your own here in San Diego?
Absolutely, that's what it's about for me. I mean, of course, you want to stick to your corner, stick to your roots and what you know, but there's nothing wrong with taking information, you know what I mean, from any and everybody. So, yeah.
So what would be like, not people but styles? Like, what are you looking to fill this team? Like, what do you want to complete the team, or like a band or a group?
Really just love, support, a common goal, an interest. I feel like no one's really gonna invest in you, no more than you would invest in yourself. You would rather invest in someone that's already investing
so
in
you
themselves.
want like a team a writing team, like someone to write.
So say if it is me and my brother or me and my dad or something, we can ping pong ideas. It's easy to just do this and that, right? But if I'm, say, writing my lyrics and I come to, I want to use this bar or that bar, it's kind of hard when I'm just, talking to a girl that I know, or just a random person. I would rather have someone that's kind of on the same page with me already.
Right.
Opposed to, because that's an easy fix. Like, oh, yeah, this sounds way better. But if you just ask somebody, different, you get a fresh ear, so to speak. But at the same time, it kind of depends on what you're looking for. I just want more of that team feel, and opposed to just random,
right
situation.
So these tracks you sent us, the first one, it's called what? I'm reading this wrong. What was the song?
Was it Mixed Emotions, maybe?
There's a lot of word. Rap Shore?
Yeah, Rap Shore.
Okay, so sorry. I'm having a hard time today. I just really am. Okay, so Rap Shore, in that song, so tell me about who was your team on that song.
Rap Shore. That I'm trying to think of what that beat was.
Let's play it first.
Yeah, let's
take a listen to it first, because I'm sure it's been a while since you heard it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a funny thing about a lot of artists on this show is we play your songs for you. And most artists, when you put your song out, you're looking at numbers, you're looking at metadata after it hits the tracks and starts selling. You're not really listening to it anymore, really.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing it.
Yeah, unless you're playing it. Or unless you're trying to redo it or performing it or whatnot.
Yeah. Is this off any particular album or EP, or is it a single?
Privately for the Public is the EP. It's
All right.
4 songs. It was the EP that was right after Don't Shoot the Messenger.
And this came out in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
This is Rap Shore off of the Privately for the Public release by Soup the Messenger.
People see me growing as a man, I'm still a kid to me. Don't know what you heard, but this joint is a hit. People see me growing as a man, I'm still a kid to me. Don't know what you heard, but this joint is a hit to me. Ocean or a rap shore, going rap shore until the rap shore rap. More of a rap pours on the ocean or a rap shore, going rap shore until the rap shore rap.
Make a time wait, shit is so timeless. Where did you find this? Stuck in your mindset, I'm deep in your conscience. With lyrical content, it's your boy Soup, I'm the #1 prospect. Liveness, like this, copy of a rocket. Don't digest, it's a process.
Honest, ironic, bubonic, chronic. I'm in it, I'm on it, I got it.
It's a can full of soup, backpack full of whoop ass. Life in the zone, here's a vet for your rookies. Matter of fact, nigga, here's a bet for your book ass. Bust in your lane and I'm here to take your book ass. No racks on racks, I'm writing raps on raps. I'm putting caps on caps, so want you back on back. It ain't racks on racks, but I put a stack on black. You see a map of the states, I see the state of the map. That's 100-foot fall if you slip through the crack. Now you worry about more than just cracking your back. I'm amazed, ing, amazed I am me. This amazed for the cheese, you amazed I am D. 1 for the trouble if your ear was your face. 2 for the trouble while I'm turning up my bass. Surfing on this beat while I'm riding the wave. What you say? Outer space, making time wait. Shit is so timeless, where did you find this? Stuck in your mindset, I'm deep in your conscience. With lyrical content, it's your boy Soup, I'm the #1 prospect. Liveness, like this, copy of a rocket. Don't digest, it's a process.
Honest, ironic, bubonic, chronic. I'm in it, I'm on it, I got it.
My word for the year's reliability. I am still to me, my ability's a liability. I feel like an athlete with lyrical agility. It's power in keeping it moving, you don't know what they did to me. People see me growing as a man, I'm still a kid to me. Don't know what you heard, but this joint is a hit to me. Your skill level shit to me. Hero, you ain't villain me. I'm trying to build a building while you concentrate on building me. Demons got a deal for me, angels got a meal for me. Junkies got a pill for me, stainless keep it still for me. Choppers keep it chill for me, girl love me, I'm still bummy. Cali got a kill for me, prices got a real for me. No pun intended, can't pinpoint what's healing me. Sense of hearing, feeling me, responsibility billing me. I'm tooth and nail, you drilling me, I'm dead meat, you grilling me. I'm hardly feeling you softly killing me. Making time wait, shit is so timeless. Where did you find this? stuck in your mindset. I'm deep in your conscience with lyrical content. It's your boy Soup, I'm the #1 prospect. Liveness, like this, got it up a rocket. Don't digest, it's a process.
Honest, ironic, bubonic, chronic. I'm in it, I'm on it, I got it.
Think of what I rap for, I'm like a raptor, disguised as a rap or a rap chores. Maybe I should rap more for rap whores on the ocean or a rap shore. Going rap shore until the rap shore. Rap's a rap, boy, they're exactly what I rap for. God came down and said whoop, I said rap shore. Now I might rap or mix it with a matador, then walk through a rap door, perceived as a trap door. Now I might trap or come up something clever like an app or an idea they don't have an app for. Get into the rap core, hoping that rap door will have a back door that's leading to a rap store. That's inside a rap for it. Jackpot, rhyme sake, jackport. Beats and verses like a rap's more. Wrap your head around the concept. I'm Frank Gore, running to Singapore with a song no one to sing it for. Making time wait, shit is so timeless. Where did you find this? Stuck in your mindset, I'm deep in your conscience with lyrical content. It's your boy Soup, I'm the #1 prospect. Liveness, like this, got it up a rocket. Don't digest, it's a process.
Honest, ironic, bubonic, chronic. I'm in it, I'm on it, I got it. More of a rap whores on the ocean or a rap shore. Going rap shore until the rap shore rap. More of a rap whores on the ocean or a rap shore. Going rap shore until the rap shore rap.
That was sick. Your lyrics, man, like you're definitely a lyricist, like hands down.
You reading my notes or?
No, I didn't even see what the hell you wrote down, but like that was amazing.
Yeah, you have a good sound, really, and like hip hop is one of those genres that is just like got problems right now in the industry. If you ask me, like there's just some weird-ass shit.
It's flooded with everybody who thinks they're a Soup the Messenger. It's flooded with people who drop words that they shouldn't be lining up in that order. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a compliment. I mean, I take it as a compliment.
I would.
So, you did all your vocals and everything like that yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, being a lyricist, there's a lot that goes into that, like creatively with writing and stuff, because it's gotta, like with hip hop, you're rhyming, you're flowing. It's gotta flow with the music, and it's gotta have a groove, and your timing has got to be right. Mm-hmm. Like with rap artists, timing is a big thing. Like from a production standpoint, like you better not touch someone's fucking vocal timing who's a hip hop artist, because they will like get really pissed off.
Well, yeah, especially if because you got to have that rhyme scheme and that pentameter lined up properly with the track, because you write the beat or you're listening to that beat, you're using that as your what is that called? Starts with an M. Metronome. Click track. Yep. That's what we call it nowadays, a click track. But yeah, that beat, that is your click track to your storyline that you're telling, and man, that's quick. So yeah,
there's people who will like their flow will be before the beat, a little bit after the beat, on the beat, like, and a lot of hip hop artists don't even write to the beat, like the kicks. They write to other elements in the songs.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
So in saying that, do you do something like that? Like, what's your style when you're writing a song?
It varies depending on if it's like a slower track. I tend to want to rap like faster, but for the way that I rap, I feel like it's a lot of information in like a short amount of time. I had the craziest time realizing that song was about 3.5 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, like
how many pages did you have written?
It was about 3.5. It's about 3.5. And I write small. Yeah. It's just one of those things, like you were saying, the parameters.
That's an English paper that's like turning in an English paper, every quarter or something.
Yeah, a buddy of mine a couple weeks ago, he told me that he heard it random in the day, and he was like, man, Soup, I feel like every word I ever learned in my life is in that song. It's like, yeah, I hear you, man. Like, yeah.
So what was your inspiration for that song?
Well, the reason behind the whole rap shore, the whole theory, it was a quick thought, but I wanted to, make it vocal. But it was more or less just, I felt like I was just going to kill with the way that it sounded, and it would be sort of like a rap shore. And, needing the right headspace, people go to the beach to watch the sunset or what have you, right? So I was just on this whole like beach shore kick and, rap shore, and it just, that play on words, like that last verse. God came down and said rap. I said rap shore. It was just one of them things. So one of those, like, that was like a quadruple entendre, I think, somewhere around there. So Rap Shore like took precedence over every other thing I could have thought of. Yeah.
So when you were writing this track right here, did you already have lyrics written and then you had to put a beat to it, or did you?
For Rap Shore, I actually fell in love with that beat, and I was just stuck on that beat for about 3, maybe 4 days. Just instrumental. Just I played it as much as I could. You know, kind of we go to sleep and wake up to these beats kind of deal, and you know, or maybe around that 3rd or 4th day, I might have been off or whatever it was, and just kind of went in. And when I looked up, you know, I had like 3 pages written. It was actually about another 40 bars that went with that. But you know, when we got to that session, you know, Jazz, he's like, yo, we got to cut this down, man. We got to make, you know, 3 solid 16s. You know, and make a song, you know. And I was like, you know, we can put it on a mixtape and just make it is what it is. This is artistic expression. And we kind of went at it a little bit.
And that's exactly the reason why you have a producer.
This is
like
what
he was
happens in the
just
studio.
mentioning, right?
Yeah.
And but it was good and it was constructive. There's times where, you know, I might hear something that he might not. And we kind of just, all right, well, let's try it out. And then we kind of just figure it out, and that was the bottom line for that, and I was happy with it. You know, he was happy with it.
So when you like, how'd you find the beat? Did you work with somebody, or did you just see it somewhere?
I just have like a handful of different producers that I like to you know, venture out to, even if it's through YouTube or through their personal pages, you know, through, you know, being subscribed to their page or what have you. I just kind of have my favorites, and then you just go down the line as far as, you know, before I would kind of just get a beat, rap on it, whatever. But now it's, you know, you have to get what you pay for, you know, or you got to pay to play. So then copyrights, you know, with these lyrics like this, I'm like, I don't want anybody, you know, getting me for my lyrics or something, you know, because then I can't do anything about it once it's too late. So it's just about managing it the right way, and it still goes back to that team again. So
that's an important factor too in all the music industry, but mostly with hip hop, is that a lot of people are just finding beats and downloading them and rapping on them or using other people's content. Or from a producer's side, there's a lot of beat makers who are just putting massive amounts of beats out there or loops and licensing them, or just, you know, making them available for artists to use with a lot of stipulations too. Like they can only sell a certain amount of copies, and like there's I've seen a lot of different like terms for these things, and it's bullshit really, because like for you, if you're actually trying to do something with your music career, you need to have ownership of that music.
Yeah.
And you know, you can do deals with these producers and stuff, and you know, give them credits or royalties. You can pay up front, like, but you know, you got to make sure that there's not going to be copyright infringement cases, because online there, like these days, there's a lot of technology that sources out algorithms and comes up with copyright infringement. Like if you put something on SoundCloud or YouTube,
every time we upload to YouTube, every time I do a live feed, I get a copyright email just to let me know, hey, you know, someone's song is copyrighted and they may make money off of this. I'm like, okay, cool, that's great, you know. Mm-hmm. And I actually, the first time I saw that, it scared the shit out of me. I'm like, am I going to get a lawsuit? Am I getting sued by somebody? What's going on here? And then I realized that's a way the artist is getting paid. So it's kind of awesome that they're out there, but at the same respect, if you're screwing around and doing a mixtape without actually tracking, you know, sourcing your material, you're going to get that email that's worse than that.
And you can, from an artist's perspective too, you can also license material. Like if you're doing a mixtape or you're working on someone else's track or a big like well-known song, you can get licenses to allow you to do that as the best way to go, because then you can legitimately release it. Yep. And not only do you make some money off it, but so do they.
Yep.
So it's a good way to get known as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's awesome that you're doing it that way. And the other question I was going to ask you about that, if that's the case, is like for this song, did you structure it out, all your lyrics out, so it fit the beat like exactly as it was, or did you have to get them to change it, or did you guys go in the studio and rework anything?
Well, I think the first verse was the first verse. It stuck. The second verse may or may not have been what was supposed to originally be there, but then excuse me, there was maybe like 12 to 14 bars in the middle of that, and then that's where the third verse started, and then there was another about 40 after that. So I just had to kind of pick what I wanted to use.
So the track that we heard, the beat was that long, or did you have to?
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was right at where it's at now.
Okay.
That's where it was at. And I had to kind of condense it to fit. I told them we can loop it, we can, keep this train moving, but
Sometimes
I understood
you don't
what
want
he meant. Right. It made more sense with what we did now. So I'm happier with this opposed to what it would have been.
And when you go into the studio and you're working with a producer, or where do you record? Do you record it yourself, or do you go into studio, or?
No, I'm kind of spoiled, man. I like people to do it for me.
Yeah.
That's spoken like a true artist.
Yeah, no doubt. I would love nothing more than to cut my own hair, but I like for somebody else to do it. I like going to the shop,
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that. I would like to venture into, making beats. Even I don't have to make, monster beats. I just want to really just lay my own vocals down. That's what I really want to do. So that when I go to a studio, I can kind of go there with something opposed to having to, I'm hard on myself, man. I try to perfect what I'm going to say in these verses and as much as I can. Now I'm at the point where I don't want to smoke. I don't want to drink before sessions. I just want to go in there, do it right, and then afterwards we can do whatever you want. But I go in there.
How old are you?
Oh man, I'm 32, man.
No shit, you look like you're 25.
Yeah, man, I get
I'm about
it.
to say that intelligence that you're spewing right there, that wisdom, that's like something that comes from someone in their 40s.
Yeah,
and you're getting it early 30s, but you look like you're in your mid 20s, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I drink a lot of water.
That's the secret to Soup's, appearance.
That's it. Drink a lot of water,
youthfulness and smartness. Water.
It's just because it's important, and it all.
It's your life.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing. People kind of lose sight of that. I know for the average artist, they just, I heard somebody say about Kanye one time. They're like, we don't care how you feel. We just want the music, and I understand that as a fan. I'm a fan first, 100%, but at the same time. That's that man's life, Still praying for Kanye too,
And when you're a big artist and you're making it in the industry, it takes a lot of work. So
that's pressure. That's nobody thinks about that pressure that you get from home or from what people expect you to make or say or how it's supposed to sound. And it's like if it was that easy, dude.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we would. You would be doing what I'm doing or whatever. Right. So
yeah,
there's a lot of artists out there and a lot of people trying, but. You notice not a lot of them make it to the level where, the big acts are.
And you know what? That's a perfect cue in for the next track we're going to listen to, which is One of Many.
No doubt.
That's the name of the track is One of Many.
Okay, so all these songs are off that same album?
One of Many is just a single release.
That's your new one, right?
It's kind of a follow-up to the Don't Shoot the Messenger.
Now, you released this one in June, and the Don't Shoot the Messenger, we don't have that one, but you said that was the first single you released, and that was back in February of 2016.
Yeah, I thought about it, and I was just like, well, maybe, maybe I've heard it so many times,
Well, people better
2016,
Yeah.
But people hear it every day.
Right.
Like, brand new, they're like, dude, I swear you made this song, last week, and I'm like, it pertains to everything that we're going through right now. That video is on YouTube and it's getting a lot of love,
Well, make sure and go check that song out. That's called Don't Shoot the Messenger. That's his first track that he ever released.
Your debut.
Yeah.
All right, so this track right here is called One of Many, which is a single that just got released not too long ago, so make sure to check that out. So this is Soup the Messenger.
Land of opportunity, foundation of unity, building our community, starting it with you and me. Land of opportunity, foundation of unity, building our community, starting it with you and me. Land of opportunity, foundation of unity, building our community, starting it with you and me. Starting it with you and me. One of many. Land of opportunity, foundation of unity, building our community, starting it with you and me. Building our community. Starting it with you and me. One of many. Land of opportunity, the wine, rape the women, kill the man, lead the blind, take the food, eat the streets, feed the beast, blame the east for lack of peace, can't do it. Exploit the artists, poison waters all across the borders, get in line and shrink the mind, subordinates, build the prison, sink the line, praise the sun and take the shine, won't do it. Stop the Martians, profit margins, follow orders, shoot the nigga, drop the charges, don't disregard this. USA still number one regardless, pave the way to beg your pardon, hate the best, manipulate the text, pay for sex, fill the void, take the rest, talk to learn, to study, to copy answers, pass the test, I passed the test, I did my best, obey the evil, lie to people, faithful eagle, fuck the poor, save the regal, plant the seed, grow the weed, give to people to keep illegal, niggas still smoke to it, corrupt the mind, do the crime, fuck the time, destroy the youth, trust the grind, borderline, sort of line, water, wine, quarter, dime, thin line between yours and mine, mind your business, knife dimensions, find a witness, post up tweets, likes and mentions, sign the sentence, find the interest, kindred spirit, sell they soul for riches, then combine the interest, sounded senseless, found defenseless, sip the soup, pay attention, down for distance, now for instance, glad you missed this, turn off your television, just television in a land of opportunity, foundation of unity, building our community, starting it with you and me, land of opportunity, foundation of unity, building our community, starting it with you and me, land of opportunity, foundation of unity, building our community, starting it with you and me, building our community, starting it with you and me, one of many. Lay the opportunity, foundation of unity, building our community, starting it with you and me. Building our community, starting it with you and me. One of many. Lay the opportunity, foundation of unity, building our community, starting it with you and me. Building our community, starting it with you and me. One of many. Lay the opportunity, foundation of unity, building our community, starting it with you and me. Building our community, starting it with you and me. One of many.
Was that track produced by the same person that did the other one?
That did no.
So there are different producers.
Yeah, it is.
So the Rap Shore, the privately for the public EP, was that all one producer?
Actually was 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it was 4 different ones.
And were all 4 of them different than this producer?
Yep.
Wow.
So is that inclusive of the mixing and everything like that too? The way it's mixed?
It was the same mixer, the same engineer for the mixing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I went with the beats, but I had the same engineer because they're kind of beefed up a little bit from the original way that the beats sound. It's like a little bit different. Like there's like little drops in there, and where the beat might pause or like all of that wasn't quite like that. A lot of them were just, I'm not gonna say mundane, but I'll hear a beat and I'll kind of have a thought as to where I want to go with it, and then based off of what I write to it, once I'm actually in the studio,
you become your own producer for those beats,
right? In certain bars, it'll be like, hey, we should add this or take this out, and then I might change the bar completely or what have you. It's just that once we get to that point, you can't. It's like I'll go in there with 90%. You know what I mean? I can't just have 100%. This is how it's gonna go, because things will just change through the process, which is, that's what makes it fun.
That's right. So the person who mixed this one also mixed Rap Shore?
Yeah, Jazz Williams. That's my guy, Hookmaster.
That's why I asked, because I could hear the way it was mixed and the placements of stuff was like the same as the other one, so that's why I asked.
Yeah, it felt similar, but the beat, the beat was completely drastically different, and the feel of the song too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I noticed that too. There's a couple little things I could pick up that were very similar.
Signature little sound, I guess.
Like with the vocals, for example, do you have a say, or are you really picky about the way your vocals sound?
Yes.
Like with effects and everything like that, and.
I am. I'm not big on say ad libs or I just like to I want to make sure that my words come out as clear as possible. sometimes, I mean, I might want a certain word to sound like have that like a southern draw to it or something like that. But for the most part, I trust his judgment when it comes to a lot of those things. But I am kind of picky on it. Actually, I'm really picky.
So like with the background vocals or some of the effects and stuff that you put in there, does that come from you, or are you like, I want to put this little like shout in the background or this phrase?
Well, so that's the thing. A lot of times going in without thinking of an ad lib or something, I'll tend to just, man, I got my vocals done, so I'm good. And then he might hear it and he says like, yo, add this or add that. Then he might feel some kind of way and add like a vocal, like a singing action to it, like this one here. And once it gets to the end of it, I mean, it's just if I haven't thought any more past what we've done, then it'll just, that's the finished product a lot of times.
So will you knock out like your master right there at the end of your session, or do you take it home and just listen to it and sit on it for a little while and feel it out to see if it needs anything else? Or
both. I should do that more, but I'm excited about making songs, so I just I might forget about a song like a week after or 2 weeks after it's done, because I just want to get back and make more songs, and then I'll like evaluate a month later and I'm like, damn, I should have added this to it. Or
your workhorse.
Yeah. Yeah, because my goal now is like working on this mixtape and this album at the same time, and once those get to the end of that last session, like the run through, to see what we're gonna add or take out, and little interludes and skits or whatever, like that's my goal, like to get to that session, because that's the last session, more or less, before it's all completely released and everything.
So that song is one of many off of an album that's coming up?
That was just a release. I mean, it was just like 24 bars of just, it was the hook, then I just did one long verse, and then it was just the hook came back. He said he would do that, he wanted to do that bridge. And then after that, I mean, it kind of went to the more of the outro, and the outro was just about, the Drake, 2 Chainz, and Rick Ross, those ad libs in the background. Like, it's just one of many on a couple different levels. Do
you do music full time?
I do a couple, 3 things. I let a couple things piggyback off each other.
Right on.
I work at Amazon.
Are you a driver?
I don't know if I can say that out on this, but no, actually, I work at UCSD on the campus. Yeah.
Is that your market? Is that your market demographic or part of it?
Well, thank you for asking. That's a great question.
Dirty's always shutting me down.
Well, it's not really my go-to audience per se, but just a little story, man. My friend of mine, her best friend, she has a little sister that goes to Cal State, and so this girl, she's trying to say, hey, this is my buddy, this is my homie, I want you to see his video. This is the Don't Shoot the Messenger video. And she goes to show her little sister, and she's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. My sociology professor showed us this video a couple weeks ago in class. We were having this topic about politics and, social media and just the effect that, certain music and people have on the culture as a society. And she's like, so, she didn't think anything past it. Like, yeah, I've seen this video before. Like, who is this guy? And she's like, well, I'm trying to show you this video because this is my friend. And, here her little sister's seeing this at Cal State. And I'm just like, how does this happen? Like, her professor showed it to her. And, I don't know her professor, but, it's like one of those things. Like, how did she find out about it? Like,
it's the same. It's the same reason we found out about you. Somebody. Well, first of all, I found out about you from 2 different ways. Like Ready, Set, Survive, the very last episode of season 6.
Yeah, Troy, Sean, Morgan, man.
Yeah,
shout out them guys.
They had you on on one of your songs, one of their songs, and then also we set up with Reverb Nation. Reverb Nation found us and reached out to us, the Dusty Futon, and said, hey, we want to give you some of our artists. And I said, sure, let's do this. And then you popped up, and I'm like, sweet. So it's amazing how these things can link up.
Yep.
Yeah, this is great, man. Thanks again, man, for having me, man. I'm enjoying this.
Oh, shit, yeah. We got another song to go through.
I'll ask you a question that is relevant to hip-hop mostly. Are you, like, genre-specific with your style of hip-hop, or do you kind of do everything or whatever happens?
Man, I like whatever happens. I like a little bit of everything, like all kinds of stuff.
You're a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type of guy, aren't you? I could tell because you're so chill and relaxed right now, but I bet you're an asshole when it comes to the production, aren't you?
I mean, that's why it comes to being around the right people that you can vibe with and
so that you can be aggressive, but they know that you're coming with love, that you're trying to make the best product, to make them the best version and all that. Right. No, I could see that. That's awesome. You got a real air of professionalism to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Every day, man. You gotta, practice.
Every day hustling.
Do you practice?
Right.
Do you practice?
I do practice, man. I don't know. Some people will be mad at me. You're not doing enough. But then there's other people like, man, you're doing way too much. And I just kind of, I don't know where I fall in between all of that.
Wherever you want to be.
Right, and that's the thing.
That's
just happy every day. Just be happy, man.
But the important thing is that you're practicing. You're like doing stuff, and you're making sure that you're on your game.
Practicing to get better.
You don't stop. Exactly. You don't stop until you're done. You know what I mean? You don't stop because you're tired.
There ain't no fat lady here.
You're right. Yeah. She is gone. She's nowhere in sight.
That comes across though when you're recording in the studio. I can tell when an artist is practiced or not practiced.
Yeah.
Like I have told people to go home and practice.
Yeah.
Seriously, because it's up to me to make sure that shit sounds amazing. And if they're not hitting the mark, and I know they can hit the mark, then I'm not doing my job by pushing them to their best of their ability. So I'll tell them to go home and practice.
Mm-hmm.
Did that to one of my artists, and I didn't see him for 2 years.
Oh, there you go. And
what happened?
He came crawling back and said, "Can you please help me again?"
And then I told him he needed to go practice again.
Yeah.
So
well,
I'm supposed to be recording with him tomorrow.
A lot of artists, they don't want to practice because everybody wants that push button, that guaranteed, I want my trophy. I wrote a song. I want my trophy.
Mm-hmm.
I want my $1 million. I wrote a song.
Right.
Cool.
It's a lot more than that.
I want my YouTube money.
You'll get as much back as you put into it.
And that's the thing. So for all the money I get back through streaming or what have you, man, I don't even look at it. It comes in, and whenever it comes in every, 90 days or whatever, I just put it right back into, whatever it is, reverb or, whatever, studio time, anything, whatever I'm in at the time, and just, you put more money in, you're going to get more money out of it, just on like a, you get what you pay for. Input, output kind of situation.
That's right. That's
shit
right.
in, shit out.
That's physics for you.
Do you want to hear the final track?
What's the final track called?
Mixed Emotions.
Is it Mixed Emotions?
Yeah.
All right, so this song is Mixed Emotions from Soup the Messenger.
This is one of my favorite songs. Probably.
For the moment. At all. Yes, sir.
Forgive
Right,
me, how this sound? Please forgive me, y'all gotta excuse my mixed emotions. I tossed them in the blender, started living for the moment. Ain't no greater love, can't nobody tell me different. Everything that made me great, everything that made me different. Good deeds gave me strength so I could right my wrongs. Bad habits gave me potency to write these songs. Admiration is stronger, my acceptance is weaker.
Expectation is neutral, how this sound in your speaker.
My fam told me this life gon' be sweeter than sugar. Love asked me what's good, reply by asking what's gooder. Discovery said shit was rotten, happiness said shit was nice. Amusement said this joint is jamming, even anger played it twice. Envy said this one is bait, courage said this one is cake. I'm thinking this might be my fate. Patience said watch out, big mistake. Depression said it takes focus, I focused on that. Faith said meet me in the middle, trust said meet me at rap. Yeah, hunger asked remember starving, fear said she do this often. Joy feel the same as pride, success said proceed with caution. Greed told me ain't nothing mutual about respect. Then surprise mixed with my freedom taught me how to reflect. Confusion is a temporary lapse in my persistence. Intuition said I'm headed for gold with this brilliance. Timing is impeccable, know my shine is incredible. Future said Mr. Campbell a little ahead of schedule. Please forgive me, y'all gotta excuse my mixed emotions. I tossed them in the blender, started living for the moment. Ain't no greater love, can't nobody tell me different. Everything that made me great, everything that made me different. Good deeds gave me strength so I could right my wrongs. Bad habits gave me potency to write these songs. Admiration is stronger, my acceptance is weaker.
Expectation is neutral, how that sound in your speaker.
Music showed me the mirror said I had to face it. Practice said it takes perfection, precise said I had to make it. Why sadness always winning, self-pity always pretending. Confidence be taking breaks, temptation be steady sinning. Thought being careful was being careful, really just pussy. Accomplishment, the only thing pushed me past being rookie. Butterflies in my stomach told me that's anticipation. Ignorance is just annoying, this brings on more aggravation. Kindness said she is key, boredom said that she ain't free. Shame told me there's a price, ambition said eventually. Recognition told me everything I wanted, plus more. Determination told me suck it up, alright, just once more. Sobriety said, ain't nothing fun about this moderation. Insecurity showed me frustration comes with maturation. Going to rich from being poor somehow brought degradation. Independence used to be feeling dependent on my nation. Please forgive me, y'all gotta excuse my mixed emotions. I tossed them in a blender, started living for the moment. Ain't no greater love, can't nobody tell me different. Everything that made me great, everything that made me different. Good deeds gave me strength so I could right my wrongs. Bad habits gave me potency to write these songs. Admiration is stronger, my acceptance is weaker.
Expectation is neutral, how that sound in your speaker.
Everything I've been through, I'ma call my past. Collective pressure, concentration, heard it said, now don't that sound a little better? Ain't that good at picking battles, let the war predict the weather. Even anxiety said, this one here gon' live forever. Some places look sweeter than heaven, but shit, I'll never go. Hellbound places, some I swore that I would never go. Music is the greatest thing ever put on this earth. Think concern mixed with apprehension, said I guess we'll never know. Resentment steadily showing me we could never flock together. Misery showing me how now it's a business doing pleasure. Mentally physical, physically critical, biblically cynical, anatomically chemical, clearly unequivocal, consciously subliminal, over analytical, confidentially admissible, spiritually at my pinnacle, stereotypically lyrical, having mixed emotions, hysterical. Yeah. Please forgive me, y'all gotta excuse my mixed emotions. I tossed them in a blender, started living for the moment. Ain't no greater love, can't nobody tell me different. Everything that made me great, everything that made me different. Good deeds gave me strength so I could right my wrongs. Bad habits gave me potency to write these songs. Admiration is stronger, my acceptance is weaker.
Expectation is neutral, how that sound in your speaker.
Yeah, that humming right there, that's my dad right there. He came out here. We got the same birthday, and he flew out here, man. And, you know, I just happened to be going to the studio, like, the next day, and he came, and he was, like, humming to the side. Like, I went outside, and he's humming, and the guy that's singing, you know, different, that's Jazz. That's the engineer there.
Really?
Because I came out, I was done with my last vocals, and he was like, man, I feel some kind of way, I'm gonna be right back. I was like, all right. I'm thinking he's talking about going to the store or something. He goes in the booth, man, and you know, next thing I know, that's how the hook came out, because I went outside, you know, I thought he was going outside with me.
Yeah.
You know, and he stays in. I'm like, well, maybe use the bathroom or something, and I come back in, and that's the hook. You know, and my dad, next thing I know, he's humming on the song. I'm like, oh my God, what just happened to this song? Like, and that's kind of what I mean about the whole 90% situation. I just went in there with my vocals, laid them down. I'll be right. You know, I walked outside, you know, I come back in, and now he's like, I felt some kind of way, man. I'm sorry, man. Just listen to it, and we'll see, you know, what it sounds like. And that was the finished product. I was like, I'm good. Let's keep that.
Dude, that the talk that we had leading up to that track was perfect interlude into that track.
That was awesome.
And I got chills. It's hard to make me get chills in a song lately. And dude, that track, like, that hit. That was I was almost tearing up. That was a good song, man.
That's what's called when magic happens in the studio.
Yeah.
Like, all that just happened. Like, your fam was in there, you know, your producer was in there, everybody was into that song.
And it came out that song.
Like, that song, in my opinion, like, same for me, you know, like, I was feeling that song too.
Yeah.
And that just has more behind it, you know.
Right.
It carries something special.
Mm-hmm.
That's music right there.
Yeah, I didn't even have to know that your dad was in the studio for that to know that song was special to you. Like it just I can see it in your eyes. I can see the way you felt, the way you reacted to it, and you like we're all teary eyed here because that was just such an emotional song. Well, I don't know if you are, Mr. Ice Cube over there, solid as a rock. I'm like tearing up like a schoolboy who just found out his crush hates him.
You were that schoolboy?
Yeah, I was. That's okay.
I understand why she hated you.
Hey. And mute your mic? No.
Nah, just kidding. But that's big, you know. It just carries a lot, and you might not know why a song, you know, hits you like it does, and then you find out things like that, and it that's why. But those are the ones like, was that on one of your EPs?
That's on Privately for the Public, yes.
So do you know if that's like one of your better selling tracks, or how it ranks compared to everything else?
I don't know. It might be Rap Shore. Rap Shore might be that one.
How long ago did you release that one?
2016.
Okay, so that was on your,
that was like
one of your
September
first releases?
2016.
Yeah, well, you've only got 3 releases. He's got the single that came out in February of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
This album came out in September of 2016, and then a single that just released in June.
Yeah, one of many. Yeah, before all of that, man, it was I did a mixtape. It's like 10 songs, Art Official Ingredients, and it's actually on SoundCloud. I didn't even want to release that, but you know, I guess it's like my girlfriend / ex-girlfriend / manager.
Yeah, I saw you did this when you said my friend.
Yeah, couple hats, man. You know, I think she's listening to it, so I don't know where we're at with this one now, but but either way, she's instrumental in the process, man. And she was big at the time. You know, you got to release this, and you just got to release something. And I'm happy with it. I just wasn't quite ready to release it, man. But just because, you know, beefing it up and making it as best as it could be. But, you know, it was good for what it was, being a mixtape and what have you.
You're never happy.
Yeah,
I could tell you're never happy because we started this episode, man. I wish I had a team with love and support and blah blah blah.
I mean, I got it.
Yeah, it. You got more than most musicians get.
Man, I'm hungry, man. That's the thing. I'm just hungry, you know. I just want to record some music, man. That's it. That's all I want to do. I mean, of course, I don't care about the money, and I mean, everybody cares about money, but when it comes to this music, man, you know, I'll let everything else generate the income so that I can use that money to make more music. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to do. So,
you know how the money comes in? Having fans.
Yeah, you got to have some fans. So
So if you put some effort into developing a fan base, the rest happens. You know, you have music and you're still writing, but maybe use it as inspiration to get some more fans.
Yeah. If people hear it, they will come.
Yeah. And your music's like that, though. Your music's like that. You know, if you get some exposure out, like concentrate on getting some exposure. There's a lot of resources out there you can use. Like, you can talk to us. I'll give you some advice if you want. You know, and it's just a matter of people hearing it. It's what radio play used to be great for.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Nope. But radio play doesn't mean shit anymore.
I mean, it helps a little bit, not nearly as effective as it used to be, but the reason it was effective is because of the amount of people that it hit.
Right.
It doesn't hit that amount of people anymore because they're doing other shit.
Although they still like to claim 92% of Americans listen to the radio every week.
The radio or FM radio?
Exactly. It's radio in general, but they're using that number to make them look good.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that was my little stab at the.
That's all good. I mean, you know, mixed emotions. That to me, it's like headphone music. I don't, you know, I never think of that song and say to myself, man, I need to perform that in every city, or you know, every front in the city or what have you. I just don't think like that. I just feel like I want everybody to hear it, but you know, I want them to hear it when they're, you know, you could be in your living room or whatever. I just, you know, if I give somebody a card, I never expect them to go home and listen to it like right then. You know, I figure it might take a month. It might take a couple months or whatever. But when it happens and they hit me up and they're like, you know, dude, like I had no idea, you know, or we met here or there and you remember this night, you know, I listened to your stuff. It's hot, you know, or whatever, you know, feedback, you know, all feedback is good. But, you know, it's a good feeling when that happens. I'm telling the dude, he just moved here, I'm telling him about how it goes in the city, and he's like, are you like famous or something? And I was like, nah, man, I ain't really famous. And it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, dude, and tell me why like 10 seconds later this dude comes out of nowhere and he's just like, Soup, man, I heard your track, dude, blah, blah, blah. he's like mixed emotions, like, I'm like, oh man, the dude looks right at me like, really, bro? I'm like, man, come on, man, I couldn't make that up, dude. Like, I don't know.
That's awesome.
It just happened.
He's all giving a sign behind his back, like, come in now.
3 in the morning, like, how does that even happen?
Yeah. Slip him a 5 afterwards.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for swinging by, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. Dropping some cred on the street, bro.
Hey, it is what it is, man. I'll take whatever I can get, man. Exposure.
So with you perform live?
Yes.
And like you were saying, that's not a track you expect like to play like in every city and stuff like that. Do you structure your sets and the songs that you play based on like where you're going or the show, or is it just random? Or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it's kind of whatever I want to do. I just always want to make sure I have enough to fulfill the slot time. That's always my thing.
Do you play all original content, or do you play like some of your mixtape stuff too?
I've been doing this original content, but like for mixtapes, like a lot of those songs I personally like and would love to perform, but I don't even have the instrumentals to them anymore, man. I haven't heard those instrumentals in 4 or 5 years. I don't even know where I would find them, to be honest. So I would have to like literally go to a studio, listen to these songs, and have someone like mute my vocals to get that beat.
Is there a reason why you do like mixtapes as compared to originals or singles or albums?
Well, I try to perfect every song. I want every song to be what it is, to be like an album. But no real reason. I just feel like if it's a beat and I hear it and it's cool and I'm like, all right, I got something for this, then I might put it on a mixtape until I hear the finished product. Once I hear the finished product, then I'm like, oh, well, this might be cool enough to make the album. And, it depends on like the theory of the album or the mixtape or the
feel
theme rather. The theme, yeah.
So with the beats, with all that stuff, are they beats that you just come across and you're using, or are they beats that you have some rights to?
Well, I get rights to any beat that I use.
See, that's a big difference about mixtapes. A lot of people do mixtapes with just random beats,
whatever they can get,
whatever they can get their hands
and that's
on.
how I would like to structure a mixtape. Like I said, it's like getting to the studio to just lay down some vocals, right? That one session, I can knock out 6 random songs, and I'm cool with that. So, you know what I mean? That's fine with me. But at the same time, I got 6 other songs, that I am trying to actually get the rights to, or get exclusive rights, even if it's a lease or whatever it is. I mean, I'm paying for something.
But at least it's releasable material.
Correct.
Which is like beneficial to you as an artist,
Right.
I mean, you can knock out songs all day off of instrumentals for, the top 40s, and people will be like, oh yeah, this is that jam, and then you just rap over it or whatever, which a lot of people do to try and like build their profile, but it doesn't do shit for you at all. I mean, that's not original.
It could hurt you, actually.
It does. In my mind, it does.
Yeah.
And from what I see with stats, from a label perspective, it definitely doesn't help.
I mean, unless you're like Drake, him using like that Lauryn Hill, it's like so many people will hear that and they, love that song for what it is. And I mean, it's great song. It's just the only thing I'm saying is that if it wasn't Drake, it could be anybody else in the world and it wouldn't mean as much, even though it's the same exact beat. So it's like, what do you do, man?
That's part of like hip hop music too, though. Is it stems from sampling and stuff like that.
Right, it's part of the culture. So
you're doing that. They go about it the right way, and he's licensing that to use, and it works. And sometimes hip hop artists will feel something to they'll feel a song, or they'll want to do something over top of an instrumental, and it's just an artistic variation of that original song, and it can work really well. But if you're just ripping shit off, then it's not helping you.
Yeah, it's mindset. You know, it's a couple things that are, you know, you got the checklist, man. That checklist. Yeah. That's what I encourage everybody to do. Make a checklist. It don't matter what you do or whatever it is. You know, just have some goals and have some checklists.
I don't want to be this guy right now, but we are way over time.
All right, cool.
Oh, okay.
Did you not see any of my signals?
I wasn't sure what you were doing.
The only reason I hadn't stopped it is because he keeps getting good shit out of you. Like, man,
yeah, man. It's conversation, man. That's how I try to think of it. Like, just have good conversation. You know, I don't really have like radio answers or TV answers.
Oh, that's what we don't want that shit here. It's all about the conversation.
It's about we're about helping people in the industry, you know, not about just fluffing them up.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you all the good shit about you, but I'm not. If I don't talk about it, that means I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
That's you know, my mama told me, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
Do you have any shows coming up or anything you want to add?
Not really. Maybe.
Where can people find you or follow you?
iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, you know, Reverb, of course. Yeah.
Do you have a Facebook or Instagram?
Soup the Messenger. Just
right.
type in Soup the Messenger. Whatever it is Soup the Messenger, and it'll pop up.
Hell yeah.
So whatever you do to find your music or whatever,
it does pop up because I Google all the artists before they come, and I know that they're established or not, whether if they pop up and how much it comes up on Google.
Oh, he
and
brought swag.
You have good exposure. So
thank you so much for coming out, man.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me once again, man. Dusty Futon.
There you go. Yeah, so we'll see you next time on the Dusty Futon. Thanks for joining us and support independent music.
Woo-hoo. Absolutely.
Thank you so much to Soup for coming out and taking a seat on the Dusty Futon, and to Reverb Nation for connecting us with the messenger himself. Big thank you to Dirty Disciple of Noise Cartel Records for hosting this episode. Also thank you to Chelsea Scott of Second Story Studios for letting us use his studio space. I'm Big John, your co-host, engineer, editor, and producer of this production of the Dusty Futon LLC. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to get all the newest episodes. You can find out how on www.dustyfuton.com, and please don't hesitate to share this with your music-loving friends. If you love what we are doing and you want to support our cause like Rick and our other supporters, please consider going to patreon.com/thedustyfuton and pledging to support us for as little as $1 a month. This has been a production of the Dusty Futon LLC.
Yeah, you have a good sound, really. And like hip hop is one of those genres that is just like got problems right now in the industry. If you ask me, like, you know, there's just some weird-ass shit.
It's flooded with everybody who thinks they're a Soup the Messenger. It's flooded with people who drop words that they shouldn't be lining up in that order. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a compliment. I mean, I take it as a compliment.
I would.